Hi, welcome to the Zionist Witches channel, where you experience all the unpleasantness that comes with me, Shmirchik Witch's Corner. Anyway, um, I was awakened, I was deeply sleeping, for the first time that was sleeping a deep sleep, and I was awakened by the lady that I work for. She cares for me, so she calls me at 3 in the morning, but first my brother called me, and I was like, what the hell's going on? If he's calling me at this time, it must be really bad. What's going on? So I answer the phone, and my brother's like, oh, are you near a shelter? You should be in the shelter. Israel just attacked Iran, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I didn't hear any sirens go off. And he's like, no, the siren was extra loud. Everybody heard it. And I was like, I didn't hear a thing. Maybe the siren went off in my town, but I did not hear a thing. But apparently it's been like extra strong, the siren, because Israel bombed Iran and we're expecting retaliation. Israel said that 100 drones were sent into Israel, right? And I don't know what happened because I just looked up the news, and then my friend, the lady I work for, she calls me also because she's, are you okay? Make sure you have a bag to prepare in case you have to go to the bomb shelter, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, she's like, yeah, all the people came and were banging on my door, and I heard the sirens and, like, the hysteria, right? And I was like, okay, do you know what I mean? Like, that's one of the perks you get by living in this country, right? Like, at this point, I feel like the Israelis need to live in a bomb shelter, or they just need to create their home as a bomb shelter, because it's just ridiculous at this point. You know what I mean? It's just like constant threats. So let's go and see what happened last night. So Israel launches Operation Rising Lion after intel shows Iran was days from 9 nuclear bombs. Top military nuclear chiefs reportedly killed. Right. So it could be the scientists. I heard that they were killed, and it's really sad because it could be that those scientists were forced to be doing the nuclear bomb, and they paid for it with their life, but we don't know what their ideology is. It could be that they hate Israel too. So it's a very dangerous job to be a scientist altogether, right? Like when there was the nuclear explosion, there was like a minor nuclear explosion, not an explosion, but somebody did something wrong in the lab. A scientist did something wrong in the lab, and some nuclear energy was let out, and then so he protected the other scientists with his body, but then he died like 10 days later, excruciating death. And the way he died, his body was decomposing from the inside out, and he was in extreme pain, right? Like, that's what I saw on another person's channel, that it describes what the nuclear energy can do, right? So that's why it's so important. That's why Israel is so hung up on destroying Iran's nuclear facility, because Iran, they're not responsible people, and they are genocidal maniacs. They want to kill Israelis and America. So, and we've had rockets and drones come from Iran directly, around 500 of them, like half a year ago, right? And Israel shot them down. But imagine if it's such a easy distance from here to Iran can, if they develop nukes, we can be nuked, which means like what happened in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, right? So in a stunning overnight escalation, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed that Israel had launched Operation Rising Lion, a full-scale military campaign aimed at dismantling Iran's nuclear capabilities and neutralizing threats to Israel's survival. Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival, Netanyahu announced. So here's the thing. It says, moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, right? Okay. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. The operation began with dozens of Israeli Air Force aircraft carrying out a pre-dawn preemptive strike across multiple regions of Iran, striking military and nuclear sites identified through high-level intelligence. I don't know. I thought they need like bunker-busting bombs to get all the way under the mountains where they keep the the uranium, right? I'm not sure how it works, but they must know what they're doing. And my little brother, he's like, you need to have your phone charged, and you need to have a bag prepared and you need to have water for a few days because Iran, now they're in survival mode, like the mullahs, the leaders, Khomeini, they're in survival mode, right? And so when they have nothing else to lose, they're going to go crazy on us, and they're going to give it all they got, and they're going to try to destroy us, right? So that's why we have to be prepared in order to not be caught with our pants down, like Dave Smith got caught with his pants down when he was arguing with, what's his name? With Douglas Murray, right? So, I used to go out there, There's the girl. She wants attention. So the operation began with dozens of Israeli force air travel aircraft carrying out a pre-dawn preemptive strike across multiple regions of Iran, striking military and nuclear sites identified through high intelligence. The IDF says dozens of nuclear and military targets hit. According to the IDF, the assault was carried out under the direction of the political echelon and targeted citizens of key facilities. And targeted dozens of key facilities, including nuclear development sites. You see, my mind is scrambled from all this drama, right? I'm not going to say that I'm not rattled a little bit, right? It's just a lot to experience in one night. You know what I'm saying? And command centers tied to the Islamic Revolutionary Guards corporations. IDF spokesperson, Israel launches preemptive strike on Iran's nuclear program. Iran is closer than ever obtaining nuclear weapons, the IDF stated. Weapons of mass destruction in the hands of the Iranian regime are an existential threat to the state of Israel and a significant threat to the entire world. The IDF urged the Israeli public to follow Home Command instructions, warning that the military is preparing for a prolonged campaign, including retaliatory attacks. Right, so the Front Command instructions. So middle of the night, I didn't have the app. There's an app where you can check what's happening, the Home Front Command, where it tells you exactly what's happening and what you have to do. And so, where's the Home Front? I didn't get any red alerts. That's so weird, right? Like, I should have gotten red alerts, right? So, time of arrival to the protective room, 1.5 minutes. Alerts and news flashes for your location. In your area, staying next to protected space is required. See, I don't know if you can see the Home Front Command, right? So I downloaded it because my brother told me to, and I didn't know about this. But the weird thing is that the red alert didn't alert me to anything. So I don't know what to think. Maybe other people living here heard it, but I didn't, right? So let's see. Brachavi Haaretz, 6 hours ago. Brachavi Haaretz, what does that mean? Alert 6 hours ago for the entire Israel. Right? Oh, Amber. Anyway, alert for the entire Israel. Right? So, okay, Amber just got me a little more rattled. Okay, so top Iranian officials possibly eliminated. So we're expecting attacks back. So the IDF says that we already received 100 drones headed towards Israel, but they intercepted it, and so I didn't hear anything about that. So Israeli media are now reporting that Iran's chief of staff and several senior nuclear scientists may have been killed in the opening wave of strikes. A senior Israeli defense official confirmed that specific residential and operational buildings known to House top officials were deliberately targeted. So here we have, let's make sure that is lower, the sound, and I don't know if you can see the fires. So that's a strike in Iran, right? to me, it's crazy that it got to this point where. To me, it's crazy that it got to this point where Israel has to go and do this, right? Like, I wonder if Biden was still in office, his administration, because we all know that Biden was brain damaged and demented and sick, right? Like, he's sick now with cancer or whatever. I wonder if Israel would have done this strike, or they would have just done whatever America says, which was, oh, leave Iran alone. You know, like, don't do anything, right? Because, like, it's very hard to combat people that are supposed to be our friends, right? And to do our own thing without asking permission, and then we need, like, the bombs from America in order to do this type of thing, right? Because, unfortunately, we are not self-sufficient in that arena. While Iranian state media has acknowledged explosion and damage, they have yet to confirm identities or number of casualties. Footage from Tehran shows large fires and heavy smoke rising from the Sahid Malati neighborhood, a high-security zone housing IRGC commanders. Are you serious? They're so stupid for staying in this high-security zone, right? Like, wouldn't they know that they would be a target? They should be hiding under a bunker, just like Nasrallah was hiding, and we got him anyway. But, yeah. U.S. responds, we were not involved. Why do they feel they have to say that? But whatever. Okay, in Washington, Secretary of State Marco Rubio issued a statement distancing the United States from the operation while warning Iran against escalating. Okay, you're warning Iran against escalating. Okay. Tonight, Israel took unilateral action against Iran. We are not involved in strikes against Iran, and our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. Israel advised us that we believe this action was necessary for its self-defense. President Trump and the administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact with our regional partners. Let me be clear, Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel. So it looks like America is trying to say they weren't involved because they don't want to get... I'm not sure exactly why, but they don't want to get targeted by Iranians, like the soldiers that are there in any of the vicinity, from what I understand, right? So U.S. bases across the Middle East have been placed on high alert, with naval and aerial surveillance intensified in the Gulf and Eastern Mediterranean. A response to years of escalation, right? So Israel's officials say this campaign is not about posturing about, but about neutralizing an immediate existential threat. Iran has long been the primary backer of terror groups like Hamas and Hezbollah, while also advancing its nuclear ambitions at a rapid pace.
ساعت الان 3:37 دقیقه ورودی
So anybody in these buildings would be burnt to crisp at this point.
فرحزاده پایین یه ساختمان مسکونی زده شده.
Wow. During the ongoing Iron Swords War, Iran launched direct attacks on Israeli territory, and its proxies had engaged in coordinated rockets and drones campaigns from multiple fronts. Iran is the engine behind the region's terror network, a senior Israeli source told JBN. Operation Rising Lion is meant to strike that engine at its core. What comes next? Israel is bracing for multi-front retaliation, including likely mass missile and drone attacks from Iran, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. Right, because that's their proxies, right? Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, it's Iranian proxies. They're working for Iran and Yemen. The IDF has fully activated Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow missile defense system. David Sling, I love it. And placed key infrastructure under heavy protection. Prime Minister Netanyahu made it clear, this is just the beginning of sustained operation. This story is developing. Stay with Jewish breaking news for live updates on Operation Rising Sun, right? So that's very interesting. And this is history we're living right now. This is the times that we're living in, and it's wild if you think about it, right? Anyway, so, yeah, that's the hysteria and all of the action that's going on in Israel, and I'm living it. I'm living here. Just like my mother lived through the Yom Kippur War. My mother's living here during the Yom Kippur War. She describes what happened and how the soldiers went to war. A lot of them didn't come back, that she knew them. And now we're living in a time where homicidal, genocidal maniacs are trying to kill us, and we're neutralizing them, right, one by one. And thank God, God is helping us. We have the power now. It's a beautiful thing. Like, we were so powerless. For 2,000 years, the Jewish people were powerless and being tortured and being chased, tortured, and killed, pogromed, and now we have the state of Israel. We have half of all Jews live in Israel, right? And we have an army, and we have God on our side, and miracles. We live through miracles, and that shows that God is really with us, right? And the fact that we're a superpower, that we can neutralize threats, it's a miracle, right? Because 2,000 years of being completely helpless, right? And being abused. We're still being abused today, but thank God we have this. We're living in a time where we are sovereign. We are a power country, and we're doing what we got to do, and we're defending ourselves, and that's that, my friends. Anyway, it's been real. I need to go and buy excuse me. I just woke up, so I need to go buy candles, because I want to go buy candles, like, in case the electricity goes out, because Iran goes nuts on us. So I need to go buy candles, and yeah, that's that. Have a great day. Feel free to subscribe, don't subscribe. Feel free to like, not to like, feel free to comment. Bye. Yeah.